So why now? Why should MOOCs appear right now? Why is it different from previous revolutions in educational technology? Well, to me, there are two trends. The first is that information is more and more accessible and becoming cheaper or even free. For instance, via Google Maps, anyone anywhere in the world can now access maps that just a few years ago would be considered military grade. Through Google Books, anyone anywhere in the world can access the content of books relatively easily. Maybe some part of it if the content is copyrighted. MOOCs come at the right time for this. They simply make accessible to a much wider audience something that was so far pretty closed. University-level material about very high-level topics. They open up doors of universities. Note that I said course material, not books. This is different. Course material helps bring someone up to speed in some very pointy discipline, where there might not exist a textbook yet. The value added by the MOOC is that some of this information is pre-processed by the professor. The professor stands between all that information and the student to help the student navigate it. Also, the student benefits immediately from an instant study group, unlike if they go to the library to borrow a book. Now this begs the question of why would anyone go through the effort of taking a MOOC? Well, there are certainly many reasons. One of them is just fun. Some people are just curious. But one of them touches on the second reason why MOOCs arrive now. Well, pretty simply, it used to be that you could do a whole career in one company. A few decades ago, that was possible. But that's certainly not true anymore. It also used to be that you could do a whole career out of one degree. And that's becoming less and less possible now. Essentially, in the modern professional world, you need to adapt. More and more, what matters is the individual's ability to navigate this new landscape by acquiring new skills. Obviously, MOOCs can help with that. The big question that is left with MOOCs is how to translate these new skills into meaningful certificates, so the individual can actually leverage this training to a new job more easily. If you're a university professor, this is true for you as well. You need to adapt yourself to the revolution in your profession that are MOOCs. If you're tenured, you actually have no incentive to do this, except if you want to do a better job when teaching. If you are not tenured yet, the reality is that you have every disincentive to follow this evolution and rock the boat at your own institution. Because you're always at risk of being assessed using older criteria that don't account for the new technologies. Now, I need to clarify one more thing now. To me, the fact that all this education is distributed for free and can benefit people all over the world in myriads of ways is absolutely phenomenally great, and it will dramatically affect society as well. I don't want to downplay this, but it's really important to understand that this is purely and entirely a side effect, a nice side effect, but it is a side effect of the main commercial focus, which is higher education and employment in developed markets.